Tommy, about 7 years ago, we did a video with the car that I liked and you absolutely hated.
Yeah, you know, not really a big fan of the older Jeep Renegades.
In that video, I took it up Gold Mine Hill and I was impressed by it.
Yeah, and I always thought it kind of looked and felt like it came from a McDonald's Happy Meals toy. So in this video, for some reason...
I've got a surprise for you.
Yeah. My dad has decided to go buy one, and we're going to find out, is it as good or maybe cheaply made as we thought it was?
So how are we going to do that?
Well, we're going to bring it to the ranch, we're going to get it up on the lift, we'll take it off-road, and we're going to find if it falls apart.
All right, Tommy, I've got the Carfax on it as well as the original sticker for the car.
Yeah, I see that. And first things first, at the top of the Carfax says accident reported, moderate damage, which is not too good.
Yeah, but the airbags did not deploy, and he's asking a reasonable amount for it. It's got 102,000 miles, and he wants $12,500, which
That's reasonable?
I think that's reasonable.
12 grand for a 12-year-old Fiat? 8-year-old Fiat?
Well, you're living in a different world when things were much cheaper, Tommy.
That these were made out of like sticks and little pieces of gum. These were not quality automobiles when they were new.
Well, okay, yeah, so there is, moderate damage. So I think one of the things we'll have to do is, check it out. He's owned the car for basically, I want to say 3 years since then.
Okay.
And he said there's no problems with it. It drives fine.
Okay. I don't know, Dad. I mean, I do know that Renegades are for some reason absurdly expensive.
Well, because it's a Jeep tax here in Colorado.
Yeah, but it's a Fiat.
All right, well, I gave you the original sticker too. How much was it originally?
It was, ready?
Yeah.
$28,285. So it wasn't that expensive.
Today, if you wanted to buy that same vehicle, the Trail Hawk version, I looked it up, it'd be $33,000. So basically...
You can't buy them today. They discontinued them.
Well, they're still on the website.
Really? Renegades?
Yeah.
They're building them in 2024?
Yeah, they're still on the website.
Oh, jeez.
The Trailhawk starts at $33,000.
Wow, okay. Well, that's...
So you're thinking about like pre-COVID prices.
I know, Dad. Look, I don't mean to get down on the Renegade. But
you are. You're getting down on it.
I am getting down on the Renegade because, look, I liked the idea of the Renegade.
Okay.
And I really like the size, and I think the design is great. I never felt that the execution lived up to the hype, though. It was a lot of marketing, a lot of kind of gimmicky modes, but this car's gonna... Maybe it'll win me over, okay? Maybe it'll be awesome.
Look, it competes like directly with the Crosstrek, and I thought about getting a Crosstrek, but then Subaru has blacklisted us forever, so I don't want to do a video series with the company that doesn't appreciate what we do, so that leaves us with the fine little Jeep. I'm going to call it Banana.
Okay, Dad. All right. Let's go
know
check
why?
it out. Because it's yellow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Andre called our new Tacoma Blueberry.
Uh-huh.
So I think the TFL standard will now be to name all of our vehicles after fruit.
Okay, that sounds great to me. All right, Dad, well, there it is.
There it is, Tommy. So there are some small issues right here. It got a little crunched.
Yep.
I think backing out of the garage. Mm-hmm. But it's not horrible. And you said that, that this thing was involved in a moderate accident. I can't tell. Can you?
No, it looks pretty good overall. So this is a pretty early Renegade. So being a Trail Hawk, it's got all the off-road goodies, and it should have a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated Tiger Shark engine.
You know what this is about?
So you don't get the hood glare when you're out on the Rubicon, huh,
Yeah,
Dad?
I know.
Yeah, 2.4 multi-air. It all looks pretty good. All looks pretty straight down the center. Now, these are kind of an interesting vehicle because the 2.4 is
not great.
An engine, and then the 9-speed is
a transmission.
But sometimes it's 9 neutrals depending on the condition. But I love the color. The color's awesome. It is the Trailhawk, so we've got the tow hooks on there. We should have a bit of a skid plate under there, which is great. It's got the Trailhawk wheels. First of all, I mean, the color is great. I really do like how it pops on camera, and that is awesome. And I actually love the way these look. But should we try taking it for a spin here, Dad?
Well, let's make sure everything else is straight and...
Yep. It looks pretty good down the rear.
Yeah.
So where's the trunk pop?
I believe it's down here.
Oh yeah, that's right. They hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at the inside's been well kept. See underneath the floor, we got our spare tire there. It's got a Falcon spare on it. I think that was a full-size spare, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and the tires are in good shape.
Yeah, tires look good.
They're big O's, Tommy. So they're not going to be the best off-road. Their wheels are a little bit curved, but that's okay.
All right, well, let's take it for a spin.
All right, let's take it for a spin.
All right, we're going to fire up that 2.4 liter.
I like the fact that it's been detailed. Sometimes that could hide a lot of sins, But usually when an owner goes and details it, it shows that he cares about the vehicle.
It doesn't run super smooth.
That's what I was worried about. Yeah. What do you think? You think it's too rough?
Yeah. I mean, these engines weren't great to begin with.
But I don't remember if this is how they ran or not.
We'll take it for a spin here. I mean, this is the issue with the Renegade.
Yep.
Is the design was great. I think the intention was great, and I think the MSRP was pretty good too. It was just the execution wasn't very good. It felt kind of always a little thrown together. That 9-speed has kind of a reputation for not lasting very well. And then it's got all of like the Easter eggs, like that since 1941, and the Jeep badges everywhere, and it's got that like Yeti in the rear window. But then it doesn't have a true low range, even though it says 4 low. That just locks it into first gear.
Yeah, and it also says 4-wheel drive lock, and that doesn't do anything really.
Well, I think it's kind of a software thing to try to lock the PTU so that the front wheels and the rear wheels spin at the same speed. I like the color, Dad. I'm gonna keep coming back to the color because I'm in my positive age of life here. I like the color. Yeah, and the issue with this vehicle, to be honest, is that car just did everything better. So
Well, but you couldn't buy that car in 2016.
No, you couldn't.
And it's also much more expensive.
It is much more expensive, but the Bronco Sport kind of took this model and made it a little bigger and more capable and just a little better.
You keep going down.
Yeah, what is that?
What are you doing here,
What
Tom? You
kind
get on
of
the road.
neighborhood are we in?
You're all discombobulated. Look, we have heated seats, a heated steering wheel.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
good.
bad.
Yeah, it's good. It's got that little 5-inch screen, which
Yeah.
actually works great. I had this in my personal Jeep, my 21
All right, go
Wrangler.
left here, and then go left again, and we'll get on the road.
And this little screen is basic, but I found it to work really well. It's got Bluetooth, it's got AM, FM, and it's got a compass. It's got everything you need.
We go left here. I'll guess on the road, and we'll see how this transmission does.
Yeah, I mean, look, it actually, even with my criticism, it does drive pretty well for 102,000 miles.
It's shocks are a little gone, you can tell.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see
It drives like it has 102,000 miles.
But you know, if we're gonna buy this, we're gonna replace the shocks and tires, and probably wheels. So I'm not too stressed by that. Air conditioner works.
That's good.
Does it shift? It shifts.
It shifts. Uh-huh.
It's yellow and it shifts.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Aren't you gonna go further?
No, I've driven it enough. That's fine.
What do you mean? That's fine. This is
good.
This is not a comprehensive
Yeah,
test
it's
drive.
fine. I'll let you drive it from here on out.
I'm gonna go with you.
Look, Dad, I've been reminded why I didn't like these when they were new.
Why is
Because
that?
they're just, the word for it is crummy. They're just crummy. They don't drive very well. They look
What's
great.
wrong with the driving?
The suspension is poor. It
Well,
doesn't
it's
ride very
102
well.
it's
It has no power. The transmission hunts for gears.
Oh, you are so
It
critical.
just wasn't well implemented. Look, Dad, I'm a Jeep guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Give me an XJ Cherokee.
Right.
With a manual transmission and a 4-liter
Which will ride
inline
worse.
6. Yeah, but it will go forever. And those are vehicles that are solid axle and they're easy to lift and you can put a lunchbox locker in them. This, I hate to say it, I know I keep coming back to it because that's what the internet commenters say. It drives like a Fiat 500X, which is what it's based on. Actually, to be honest, it drives like an old person van because you got this huge roof and this
Holy cow,
windshield that's
Tom!
far
You are
away.
so negative, and you're back to the freaking. Will you stop this with the?
Well, we're
what
done.
are you doing?
Oh, we've driven it. It works. It's fine. It drives as bad as it did new. So now we can move on, and we'll cut to the ranch, and we'll see how it works there.
Well, let's see if I can get a discount on the price.
Okay.
All right. Even though Tommy hates his Jeep, I did a deal. He was asking $12,500, and I got it for $11,500. Which I think is actually a good price because I was online, and these things, especially here in Colorado, go for anywhere from, $9,000 if it's a rebuild title, Tommy, all the way up to $13,000 or $14,000 for one that's in pretty good shape. So let me take it for a ride now.
That is pretty crazy, Dad. I while you were in there, I was doing some digging, and yeah, like a good one of these can be like low miles, 15, 16, 17. So people really want them. So maybe I'm way off base.
All right, come on, let me take it for a ride. Let's get real here, okay? Not everyone in this world can afford a brand new Wrangler 4xe or an Ineos Grenadier.
Nope.
The rest of humanity lives with, Jeeps like this. This is a perfect Jeep for a high school student that just got their driver's license, or perhaps, somebody who wants to do a little bit of light off-roading and wants to have a little bit of an adventure. So I kind of feel like you really toured a new one, but there are a lot of people who would appreciate having this.
For sure, Dad, but here's the thing. 11.5 is still a substantial amount of money. $11,500 will get you a basic TJ Wrangler. It will get you a good 2009 Honda CR-V, right? And this is where the Renegade problem is, in that it doesn't have the capability of something like a Wrangler, and it certainly doesn't have the reliability of something like a 2010 Honda CR-V. So that's my problem with it. Is it looks cool. It's got some cool features in it, but it doesn't have that quality. So I'm not sure I can at the bottom of my heart recommend this to someone on a budget.
Well, first of all, look how much headroom we have. Look at the amount of shoulder room.
If you are Abe Lincoln, the Renegade is a good vehicle.
Look how much.
Yes.
Just look how much room we have. We've got heated seats. We've got a heated steering wheel. We've got everything you need for a very good everyday runabout. And more importantly, in Colorado, you've got four-wheel drive, which means this will be unstoppable in the snow. I'm not saying it'll be unstoppable in deep snow, but it will be unstoppable. You also then have kind of the pizzazz of the Trailhawk. So you have 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is nice. According to the government, I think the original fuel economy on this was like in the mid-20s, right, which isn't horrible.
I think I have the sticker here.
You've got a lot of backseat room. You've got a lot of room for dogs. And I got to tell you, Tommy, I would rather drive a Jeep all day long than 10-year-old Honda CR-V. Not that there's anything wrong with the CR-V, but at least this kind of says, I can go off-road and I can go on an adventure, whereas a CR-V, is going to get stuck when the road turns, more than dirt.
Yeah, but it will go 300,000 miles.
Yes, it will. But
if you're looking for a family runabout...
But there's nothing more boring than a 300,000-mile CR-V. And by the way, this is probably the size smaller, so it wouldn't be a CR-V. It'd
well,
be
HRV.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but once again, 150, 200,000 miles on an HRV. I mean, yes, this is interesting. It's also interesting being on the back of a tow truck when a 9-speed turns into a 5-speed.
I don't see a lot of people making YouTube videos with 10-year-old HRVs.
And that is the thing. We are making YouTube videos, and that's why this thing is awesome. So that's why I'm all about it. Come on, transmission, take a dump.
And that's
it's just gonna mean more views.
And that's why it's yellow, and that's why it's cool. Now, I think that this could be a fun little off-roader that also serves people well as an on-roader. I don't think many of these, got taken off-road, but you can lift them.
Sure.
And the lifts are inexpensive.
Great.
And I think you'll be surprised at how good this is off-road. So shall we take it to the ranch?
I am ready to eat my words. Nothing would do me more than to see Wrangler capability out of this vehicle, Dad. Maybe it's going to do awesome.
It's not going to have Wrangler capability. Come on, let's be real. But it'll do fine.
Okay.
So Tommy, in many parts of the country, this would be a rusting Hulk.
Yeah, and actually looks really good under here, and I'm seeing a bunch of stuff that's starting to get me to change my mind. So up front here, this whole entire engine transmission setup is fully skid plated. So we got a skid plate that starts up here in the front by the radiator and continues all the way past the PTU to the rear portion of the subframe. So that's really good. Look at, we do have some exposed bolt heads, but this is actually a really beefy little skid plate.
So I'm starting to see some signs of where the car was hit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look, you see?
Yeah, we're missing a couple clips.
We're missing a couple clips. This one's bent up a little bit. I think this is where it was hit. What do you think?
I think probably this is near the source of the collision, but look, the pinch weld itself is actually looking pretty good, so maybe it was mostly a cosmetic thing. Out back here though, more skid plates. Look, we got one here on that center carrier bearing, which is cool. And then on the fuel tank, once again, got some good little setups here, so that's all looking pretty good. And then out back, we've got the rear diff, and then of course your little half shafts going to the wheels. So I'm kind of impressed with how beefy everything looks back here, Dad. Not bad at all.
What do you think? What do you think? That got hit.
Oh, gee.
Look, the exhaust pipe looks like it was bent in, but I'm not seeing any obvious signs of structural damage to the unibody or to the to the drivetrain. So if it was hit, I don't think anything that makes the vehicle go got hit. Do you see any obvious bends or what?
Fiat.
Well, that's not something. The drive shafts are pretty wimpy.
Yeah, some of these the multi-link suspension here, none of that is super beefy, but it'll do the trick for just a little car. Not too bad.
So yeah, I was worried that we'd see some serious structural damage or some drivetrain damage or maybe some suspension damage, but it all looks pretty original. It doesn't look like anybody's taken a wrench to it.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, of course, so I could be wrong, but it looks all right for a car that's now, 8 years old? It's not bad. And it doesn't look like actually it's been off-roaded either.
Yeah, no significant concerns there.
Yeah, no one's actually. Is this a little bend here? What do you think? Or is
That's on purpose.
That's on purpose. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same as the other
thing
side.
on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's only one way to see how good it is off-road, right?
We got to get it in the dirt.
Let's get it in the dirt. Can I ask you this a very straightforward question?
Oh, yep.
What have you got against Italian cars? I mean, let me name 2 Italian car brands that represent, I think, some of the best cars in the world.
Okay.
Ferrari.
Uh-huh.
That's also from Italy.
Yep.
Lamborghini.
Uh-huh.
And I'll throw in Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, look, I have nothing against the Italians, and I'm just kind of being a little cheeky turd in this video. It's just that the Jeep people struggle with the connection, I think. Because Fiat to them represents the little tiny 500.
Lambo.
Yes, which is very cool. But Jeep people want to be associated with testosterone and biceps.
What's more testosterone than Ferrari F1 team, driving cars 200 miles an hour around some of the most dangerous tracks in the world? That is about as much testosterone. Those guys are dripping with testosterone.
Maybe so, but I think Jeep guys remember the little Fiat 500, Dad, that maybe brings back a sense of, not Jeepiness.
Cuteness, you mean?
But
Those are cute little cars.
I am slowly coming around to the Renegade. The more we drive it, we're figuring some stuff out. First of all, the engine vibration, I think, has nothing to do with the engine being broken.
I think it's just the way these things work.
Yeah, we read some reviews, and they just kind of were like this. And then, the rest of the thing is kind of easy to maneuver, and there's a lot of space. But what I'm really excited about is taking it through Andre's pit here in the Onyx off-road course. So should we give it a try?
Yeah, so you guys, if you're out there on your own and you don't know where to go, check out Onyx. You can download them to your phone, so even if you're out of service, you have the ability to actually know where you're at when you're off-roading.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to take it through the pit here, and we'll...
Well, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go through... What do you want to do first?
We're going to go down the log course.
Okay.
Over to the trenches, and we're going to try going up the trenches.
All right, well, there's no log setting here.
So we're going to go into the rock mode, I think.
Okay.
And when we go into the rock mode, that's going to engage the four-wheel lock here. And then it should also engage the four-wheel drive low. Wow, is it going to make me put this thing in a neutral? Uh-oh.
There you go.
Maybe I have to push the low button
You're there.
first.
Everything's locked. It was all there.
There we go. Now we can get into the rock
Okay,
mode.
so now you're in
four
rock.
low. Now this 4 low, I don't think this has a transfer case, if I'm right.
No, there's no transfer case.
It locks it into first gear.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go see how she does.
But still, because of the rear end. What's the rear end on this?
Well, the cool thing that they did with the Renegade that I just learned is actually the standard Renegade had a 373 axle ratio.
Yep.
The Trailhawk had like a 433, so a pretty aggressive rear end ratio.
And when you're locked in first, you're 20-1.
20-1, yep, on this vehicle. We also have a hill descent control, which is kind of interesting. And we have about 0.8 inches of additional ground clearance, tow points front and back, a better approach angle, a better departure angle. So,
and of course a sticker on the hood so that the sun doesn't blind you when you're going down logs.
And this weird alien thing.
Yeah, I think that's the
What is
owner's
this thing?
phone holder.
Oh, gee.
We'll have to remove that.
Okay.
But it's glued down, dude.
Okay, sounds good.
So we're going to leave it there for now.
All right, well, let's go try it.
You want to try hill descent mode or no?
No, we're just going to go with the brake.
All right, just go with the right foot method. All right, let's do it. You know what I like about this Jeep, Tommy?
What do you like, Dad?
It comes pre-dog haired.
So you don't have to worry about Blaze getting hair in it?
Yeah, Blaze can get as much hair in it as he wants. So we'll go down logs.
Uh-huh.
Then we'll try going up trenches.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll try going up rocks at the end.
I think that's a good plan.
Now that we know that we have all the skid plates.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Going down the logs course. Let's see if we have the ground clearance.
Now, to be fair, I did take the tractor down this once by accident, and it was fine.
It's not good. Really broke the mower deck on that one. Oh, look at that.
So I suspect if a tractor could do it.
You know, what is good about this vehicle is it only has like a 101-inch wheelbase.
Yeah.
So really small wheelbase. So the breakover angle is pretty good. Look at that.
Yeah, it's
The little guy did great.
not beating me up too much.
Oh, actually pretty comfortable, that independent suspension.
Yeah.
Flexing pretty good. All right, now here's the trenches course. Now we just dug these out deep for our mid-size truck comparison.
All right, so let's talk about this. This car does not have a low range. We don't have a front, middle, or a rear locker. And what this vehicle does is it tries to get you up this very challenging trenches or I would call it elephant step course by locking the wheel that's spinning, setting power to the one that's got traction.
Yeah,
but we're going to put wheels in the air here, so it'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, and this is primarily a front-wheel drive vehicle, and then it can engage the rear drive unit when it needs to. But we're going to take it slow. Start applying a little bit of gas. A little bit more gas.
Keep in mind, we are rolling on Big O.
Yeah, good tires.
All seasons.
Okay, so first one it did. Pretty aggressive brake modulation. Look at that, we're two-wheeling it. Oh yeah.
It's figuring it out. Pretty impressive.
The crawl ratio, even without the low range, feels pretty decent. Uh-oh.
Well,
We just got to give it more gas.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum, I believe, is the trick.
This is the hardest one. Come on, little baby Jeep. Come on, come on. Come on. Now we got it.
It did it!
Woo!
That was kind of drama-free, actually. I was expecting more brake thumping.
It did okay.
It did
All
okay.
things considered, we got some wheel spins, but I would say that worked pretty well.
All right, well, let's try rocks. I think if you put better tires on this, it'll immediately improve its off-road ability.
Oh, I think you're right on the
I'm
money.
going to do truth or dare.
I forgot which one is which. They're both kind of hard.
Yeah,
We'll go with the right side.
yeah, that looks very hard.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we're still in four-wheel drive low. We got the four-wheel drive lock on, which is going to try to lock the all-wheel drive 50-50. Let's make sure our temps are looking okay. The cool thing is we do actually have trans temps, oil temps. Yeah, that all looks good.
Tran's getting a little warm, but nothing crazy.
Nothing too crazy.
176 degrees.
Okay, we got skid plates for our rocks course if we need them. Ooh, we got some wheel slip going on here,
I
Dad.
smell tire.
A little bit of tire. Come on, little guy. Oh, yeah. Look, that's more than 99.9% of Renegades will ever do.
Try the other side,
Yeah, we can try the other side.
because I think that was truth. Let's do dare.
And it just walked right up that.
Yeah, we'll do the other side.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed, actually.
Now, we've taken a lot of crossovers, let's face it, up this, and we very rarely ever take one up the rocks course.
Yeah, because they don't have underbody protection, but credit to Jeep, they actually did put real skid plates on this vehicle, which I didn't realize.
Well,
So-
it is trail rated, which means something.
Yep, it does.
Oh,
Come on, little guy.
oh, you got it.
There we go. Come on.
Oh, it made it up there.
Woo! We did it!
Nice.
Nice work. All right.
All right.
So overall, from an off-road standpoint, yes, it's a little small, and yes, it could probably use a little bit more oomph at the low end there. It did what we wanted it to do.
All right, Tommy. You started this video by saying you didn't like the Renegade. You didn't feel it had the Jeep DNA. You didn't feel it had the proper credentials to be called a Jeep. You called it a Fiat. Well, I don't want to relive that painful moment, Tommy. So we'll just say that this is not your favorite vehicle that we've ever purchased. How do you feel about it now?
I'm coming around to it. After we got it on the lift and saw that there was some actual skid plating, and then especially when we got it through the course, the little guy, for being kind of a compact, relatively affordable used SUV, did pretty good. Plus, it's a fantastic color. So how could you possibly go wrong? No, I'm still skeptical about its reliability, but we're going to put this thing through some much harder terrain and see if it can maybe do some stuff that like a Wrangler would do.
Yeah, so, now that the snow's melting, what I want to do next with it is take it up Cliffhanger 1.0. Remember the last time we actually had a Subaru, which was a long time ago now, that one didn't make it up, and that's why they stopped giving a Subaru. So I want to see if this guy can actually go up there. And if you guys do have a Subaru at home, this directly competes with the Crosstrek. We would love to actually compare the two and see how they do off-road. Don't you think that'd be cool?
After that glowing review, Dad, I'm not sure anyone's going to let us borrow their Subaru. But maybe Hertz will, so we can pay to rent one. But folks, let us know what you think about Banana in the comment section below. As always, this has been Tommy.
And Roman saying thanks for watching. And I love the name Banana. I think from now on, all TFL vehicles have to be named after fruit. Not corn, Tommy. That's a vegetable.
It could be lemon.
It could be lemon, but that'd be horrible. You want to take the lemon? See you guys next time. Ciao.